Thanks for joining us for KGW News at 11. I'm John Adams. Tonight, a 72-year-old man is in custody accused of shooting and killing another man at a home near Happy Valley. It happened yesterday evening at a home on Southeast East Hampton Street in unincorporated Clackamas County. Deputies say a woman reported her husband had been shot. When they got there, they found 72-year-old David Jurgensen standing outside the house and arrested him. Deputies have not released the name of the man killed, but they say he was 36 years old and that he knew Jurgensen. A woman and a child were also inside the house. Portland police are trying to figure out how a car ended up in the Columbia River this morning and what happened to the driver. Around 8 a.m., deputies were called to Northeast Marine Drive and 122nd. They found a car on its side, but no driver. They say there's a possibility the driver may have died, but they're still investigating. If you know anything, call Portland Police. Well, turning now to weather, a beautiful day across the Portland metro area with temperatures touching 80s in a few spots, but many of us stayed in the upper 70s. Celine Stevens is joining us tonight. Celine, how's our Sunday looking?
Really nice, John. A lot like today, but I will say a little bit cooler and definitely more clouds, but still mild overall. We're looking at a really nice night, nice and clear. 66 degrees is where we're sitting right now, winds blowing at 7 miles per hour. But again, the clouds roll in tomorrow morning. But first, taking a look at our temperatures across the map at this hour, it's 65 degrees in Vancouver, 65 in Aurora, 61 in McMinnville, lots of 60s right now. We're seeing 50s along the coast, 55 degrees in Tillamook. And, you know, like you said earlier on this afternoon, temperatures were on the warmer side. We hit 80 degrees at the airport. 79 in Vancouver, 81 in Hillsboro, 85 in McMinnville. So temperatures were on the warmer side, still cooler than what we saw on Friday, though. Along the coast, they stayed nice and cool in the 60s, although Tillamook did hit 70 degrees. And so taking a look at the futurecast, we're going to see those clouds tomorrow morning. It looks like now they're going to be breaking a little bit later in the afternoon. Instead of around noon, around 3:30, we're finally going to see some gaps in that. And then once we get into Monday, same story. We have the clouds yet again. Around 1:30, they clear up a bit. And then we get into Tuesday, we're looking at more clouds and even some moisture moving into our area. That's going to bring some light showers. It looks like Tuesday night into Wednesday and even into Thursday. So here's what we're looking at for the next couple days. Tomorrow 77, so partially sunny by the end of the day. Monday 76, pretty similar, again partly sunny. And then we get to Tuesday, temperatures warming up to the low 80s. But remember, we have those late night showers. We'll talk more about that in a bit.
All right, Celine, we'll see you soon. A man who spent the day on the roof of an apartment building in East Portland has surrendered to police. Police say they were called out to the building on East Burnside around 7:30 this morning when someone reported domestic violence. The man climbed onto the roof and refused to come down until about 3:30 this afternoon. Police say he is wanted for several crimes. His name has not yet been released. We're continuing to follow developments in a deadly shooting in Hillsboro. It happened around 5 o'clock last night at the Extended Stay America on Northeast Cornell Road in the Tannisbourne neighborhood. Police say a man from Florida, Yuri Gonzalez, was shot and killed. They arrested a man from Beaverton, Amir Haidar. At this point, police don't know what led up to the shooting. Portland police say someone drew swastikas on the Oregon Jewish Museum and Center for Holocaust Education. They say they're investigating it as a hate crime. The vandalism happened Tuesday night at the museum in Northwest Portland. Police say someone drew the symbols on the windows of the building. They haven't found the person who did it. Now, this is the second time this week swastikas were reported on buildings in Portland. Someone drew them on the door of the Pulse Wellness Cooperative building in Northeast Portland. No word on whether those crimes are connected. A Salem woman says her life has been turned upside down after she was hit head-on in a crash Sunday morning. The collision totaled her car and left her significantly hurt. The suspect is still at large. Jay Coulter brings us that story.
I saw the black car and I thought my life was over.
Teresa Briggs sharing with us her experience being the victim of a hit and run.
My life is completely turned. I no longer have a vehicle. I house at-risk youth. I can't transport them to and from their appointments. I'm scared to drive.
In the early morning hours last Sunday, crews arrived on the scene of a head-on collision near the intersection of Broadway Street Northeast and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway in Salem. Teresa taking us to the scene.
I was on my way home heading from West Salem, and I'm driving, listening to my worship music, and all of a sudden I see a black car with no headlights and no license plate veer across the median onto my side head on, sending me spinning across into the oncoming traffic.
What follows, Teresa says, is even more frustrating.
Once their vehicle stopped, they took off and fled the scene.
Salem police tell us they were told the driver of the car fled on foot. Officers searched the scene but did not find the suspect. The owner of the car, who police say was a passenger in the car along with another passenger, remained on scene. According to the police report, the passengers said they let a stranger who wasn't drinking drive them home from the bar and that they did not know his name, which police noted sounded improbable. The police report adds, quote, "Despite improbabilities and likely lies, I was unable to prove who was driving the vehicle at the time of the crash."
I don't feel helped by the police department at all. They have not made any arrests. No citations were issued.
At last check, Salem police say there are no leads on the identity of the driver. Their investigation remains open.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help Teresa get through this difficult time. You can find that link on our website, kgw.com. Protesters upset about President Donald Trump's policies marched through downtown Portland this afternoon. A small group started gathering around noon in Waterfront Park for a rally they're calling Rage Against the Regime.
I don't like that he's having ICE agents with masks just rounding people up. So that's not America. We need to stop that. Go back to the way we used to be.
They started marching earlier this afternoon. The protests remained peaceful. Demonstrators took to the streets in multiple cities around the country today to protest moves made by President Trump in his first 6 months in office. NBC's Vaughn Hilliard takes a look.
Tonight, another round of demonstrations against the Trump administration's fast and forceful actions, as federal officials launched this weekend an investigation into Jack Smith, the former special counsel who brought 2 criminal indictments against then-candidate Trump. Smith, a frequent target of the president's anger.
He's a deranged prosecutor. He's sick. They suck him on me.
Republican Senator Tom Cotton initiating the independent agency's inquiry, alleging Smith violated the law by using his investigations to hurt Trump's 2024 campaign, though not publicly presenting any specific evidence of impropriety by Smith. The U.S. Office of Special Counsel can refer potential violations to the Department of Justice. This is the president in a new interview defended his decision to fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics just hours after Friday's jobs report was released.
We fired her because we didn't believe the numbers today.
The monthly jobs numbers for July showed a weaker than expected 73,000 jobs added. The fired Labor Statistics Commissioner posting late Friday night, measuring a vast and dynamic economy is vital and important work. In that same interview defending the firing, President Trump once again refusing to rule out the possibility that he would pardon convicted Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, after the Bureau of Prisons confirmed this week that it had moved her to a minimum security prison camp in Texas.
I have the right to give pardons. I've given pardons to people before, but nobody's even asked me to do it.
And when asked about a potential pardon for Sean Diddy Combs, the president said it was unlikely because Combs was, quote, very hostile toward him when he entered politics.